Welcome to the Crime Scene Time Machine. As always, I'm your host, Scott Roeder, and I love you. Today's episode 60, and we have some huge breaking news. First off, we are returning to our audio-only format for just a short while, at least for this episode, so that we can better describe the mental picture that you need to use when evaluating the UFO phenomenon, at least as I perceive it as it relates to the Kenmore family backyard encounter from May 1st, 2023. Here's the breaking news. And after hundreds of hours of research, we are happy to tell you in the utmost jubilation that it is not a raccoon. It's not a raccoon. We are so happy that it is not a raccoon, because I was thinking, Mick West recently gave a comment about what he think it could be. And he said it could be a raccoon or a coyote. And then I thought, well, what else could it be? Could it be could it be a traveling puppeteer group from the 1930s with a stolen Chuck E. Cheese 12-foot animatronic robot? And then I said to myself, no, that just doesn't fit Occam's razor. The most simplest explanation is usually the correct explanation. Now, the first thing that we need to remember is that it's over. It's over. And this is usually where people skip ahead 15 seconds for me laughing about how it's over. But the funny thing is, about as much as it actually is over, that there is something visiting us here, or from here, from there, anywhere. We could turn this into a children's poetic book about where's Horton's who, and who are they, and who are you? And will you take me in the car? Will we go for a ride? Am I up in the clouds, on a lattice, under the sky? Are we from far away, from down there, or over yay? Who knows what we are, who we are, or what we want? I mean, it's just the most inexplicable kind of situation, really, over the last, 8 months or so that I've been researching this, it's really shaken, in all honesty, my worldview from time to time. I seem to regain back my worldview so that I can, focus on my crime scene work. But, honestly, I wish I would have never discovered that this was real, never taken the time to do the analysis to say, hey, this is real. I would let other people do it and then just be a consumer, of the information. Like my good friend Ross Coulthart, or Avi Loeb, or Jim Quirk. There's a lot of great researchers out there that do a much better job than me commenting on the phenomenon in and of itself. But it puts you in a situation where you're forced to speculate. And honestly, there is nobody qualified here, whether you're in the CIA, FBI, DOD, Church of Christ, Jewish Temple, the Gaia Channel, or the local investigative news team. Nobody's qualified to really fully quantify what this is, because this all might be up to your personal perception of what you want it to be. It seems like there's a quantum aspect to this whole situation that, frankly, I don't understand. There's a spiritual aspect to this scenario that I don't fully understand. at all. There's a physical reality to it that I don't understand. That being said, of all the things that we really don't know, what we don't know, unless you have firsthand experiential experience, is to default to what you do know and what you know how to do. And that is investigate it like an actual crime. We have a party. They're saying X happened to them. We are investigating their claims, corroborating their statements with the physical and forensic evidence, relying upon contemporaneous, unambiguous, actionable data from other uninterested parties that correspond with the time frame in which this has happened. We're relying upon the seriousness in which authoritative agencies such as the Las Vegas Police Department and Homeland Security, I'm sure other three-letter agencies have also taken a look at this as well. And they have their own perspective on what they think it may or may not be relative to what they do or do not do. Right? So we get into the area of speculation very quickly when it comes to the UFO phenomenon. Because, first of all, it's over. The video's real. What the Kenmore family saw, there's evidence to back it up. There's evidence to back up every single aspect of their claim in the form of evidence, statements, or expert opinion in a specific related field. So, after consulting with experts in my own company in video analysis, video noise reduction, imaging, animation, movement, vector tracking, technical, off-the-shelf software, including in peer review by hundreds of thousands of watchers who have had the ability to contact me, give recommendations, criticism, which I've tried to address and include into this investigation. It all adds up. What does it add up to? It adds up to the simple fact that, let's say if this is a crime, and the crime is simple, let's say trespassing with intent to harm, or trespassing and bullying, or whatever you want to, but definitely trespassing, right? Listen, my first inclination, if I had to put like a scenario around what happened in this case, would be, and this is some speculation, but I think there's some facts that back it up, that we had a flying saucer with some mechanical trouble. It came down under a kind of a controlled way into the can, and it looked like a meteor. There was another UFO, flying saucer, that was flying with it, possibly to help repair it, retrieve it, and extract the troubled party from their unexpected altitude decline to zero, where they encountered accidentally the Kenmore family. The Kenmore family recorded their encounter, documented it with a video, investigated it, armed, to clear their property of any threat. They encountered several 8 to 10 foot tall, gray, green, big-eyed monsters, basically, in their yard that didn't harm them, but used some sort of a psychic ability to scare them, ontological shock, they call it, and freeze them almost. That could also be ontological shock, or they could just be like, okay, you're frozen, right? Like, you know, like that game, right, where you got that ball, you're frozen. Like, it's called It, but you're frozen, you can't move. They just touch you, you just look at you, you're frozen, but you're literally fucking frozen. Right? Like, you can't move. You're stuck. You're like, ah. And that's what Angel said happened. And that's what the anecdotal research in this field, and it's not anecdotal, I mean, there's people, Dr. John Mack, Harvard psychiatrist, treated and interviewed hundreds of people who said that they had these kinds of encounters and abductions and more, and found them all to be truthful to a degree, having similar stories of being, in some cases, abducted, but in some cases being frozen, not being able to move, while these whatever beings they are do their thing, whatever the thing is that they're doing that day. So the UFO's got a flat tire, boom, it lands. In comes the tow truck. They try to create a little bit of time and space to get out of Dodge. Boom, that's what happens. Or, now that's the version I like, because I can understand that, right? That's the version I like because I can understand that scenario. You got some kids goofing around, going on a day trip down to Vegas, see the sphere in their space dad's UFO. They don't got their license yet. Maybe they're on the space ball team or whatever. And then boom, they got a flat tire. Boom, they're on the earth. And then they gotta get out of there, right? That's what happened. That's what I want to have happened. That's what I hope happens when I close my eyes at night. That's what I want it to be. That's what would be nice, right? Because that's no harm, no foul. We just got a broken down car. No big deal. Like, that makes me feel better. However, that's not where the story stops. It just gets weirder from there. You look at the tone of the UFO disclosure and UFO protect and UFO reveal movements, both real, contrived, psyop, and monetized with real and fake threats of disclosure and truth and dishonesty, all wrapped up into a giant mucky mud ball with gravel and ice and dirt and dog poop. But it's got a nice, white shell around it. A nice inch of snowpack around that middle part, right? So you see that white snowball flying through the sky. Hey, it's a snowball, right? But when it hits you and it's covered in gravel and ice and dog shit, it's like, oh, what the fuck, right? Like, I'm in ontological shock now. So what I thought was a snowball assessment, okay, I guess it's not a snowball. It's also not a raccoon, just for the record. Nor is it a traveling band of puppeteers, nor did Chuck E. Cheese get loose from the pizza shop. It is some kind of a thing, entity or something that is there. And what the Kenmore family saw was there. And we have new evidence of the last frame, 1 minute and 41 second frame number 10 out of 30 was the best, most clear frame. It started to fade off in the frames before the camera stopped. And I'm not sure why the camera stopped or if even there's more footage, but that's where my footage ends, is at 1:41. But that's, I think, where Angel was like, we were frozen. We couldn't move for 30 seconds, And then they ran inside once it got released. And I feel like that kind of coincides with the end of that video, sequentially. Well, what do we have here? You know what I'm saying? What do we have here? We got ourselves one of their complicated snowballs. Because, I started looking at, like, Lou Elizondo. He was my first exposure, really, into the UFO movement recently. It was Lou Elizondo and that chin beard, baby. And I took him seriously, man. We were out there looking up at the sky, trying to find a Tic Tac with a red laser beam. I called the red laser beam Lou Elizondo because my dog loved it so much. My dog, every time he heard the name Lou Elizondo, he's like, where's the red laser beam? Let's go look for UFOs, and would start barking crazy. So I owe it all to you, Lou Elizondo, and I thank you for your contribution into my life. You're not a bad guy. You seem like you're an okay guy, but you are CIA. And then you got David Grush. That's more recent. But then you had Ross Coulthart. Great Aussie journo, you know. The picker of power when the man comes around. Good mate. Smart guy. Wrote a book, made a movie. Good to be Ross Coulthart. He's a heck of a guy. Great talent. I'm happy for him. And he's been investigating it, and he's looking at the government side, and that's perfect. That's what we need. What's the government hiding from us? And that's Lou Elizondo. He's like whistleblower. And then you got the guys with the Tic Tac. And then you got the To the Stars Academy, and now it's getting weird. And now you got Jacques Vallée, and now it's getting weird. And then you got the guy UFO of God guy. Now it's getting weirder. Now you got Jesus and the devil, and now we got wars, and now it's really weird, and now it's weird. Not only is it not fun, it's weird, and now it's complicated. And not only is it not fun, it's weird and complicated, and now also not fun, and also possibly really offensive / dangerous / what the fuck is going on. We know it's not a raccoon, or a raccoon standing on a coyote on top of a raccoon projecting a shadow into mist. It's not that. Now, it is Las Vegas, right? So we have to take into account maybe this is something that there's a raccoon. Isn't that funny? Oh, thank you. Thank you. What do you call that? Onomatopoeia? No. Pareidolia. Thank you, Pareidolia, for that raccoon you just sent me. And then you got pareidolia. Oh, my God. Come on. Nobody is qualified. That's why I think we got to keep it light. We got to keep it fun. And we got to take it like, Judge Wapner. Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun. On today's episode of Crime Scene Time Machine, we're looking at the backyard alien invasion. Or, no. This guy says he was abducted by aliens. Was he? Or was he just stoned? No. Right? I mean, that's kind of how I want to do it. But it's so serious. You can't do it so lightheartedly because, okay, it's kind of serious. Like, this guy over here is like, okay, it's the end of the world, and we know it, and I feel fine, right? You got tic-tacs, bip-bop, boop-bop. You can do a whole thing about everything, right? As a matter of fact, I think that maybe I'll write a song in the form of the end of the world, and you know it, and I'll just interject lyrics all about, Roswell, JFK, CIA, and all that, because that's what that song was about, right? If you listen to the lyrics of that song, it's the end of the world. We've been thinking it's the end of the world since 1986. So is it the end of the world? Yeah, when is the end? Okay, I'm done. When's the end? Bring it on. Give it to me. Bring me the end of the world. I dare you. Come on. It's not going that good down here, by the way. I mean, we're having a good time, but some people are not having a good time, right? So it gets serious. It gets really serious. You get war, religion, UFOs, government technology, taxes. You want to take a breath, take a step back. Like, all I was saying is they're fucking there, over there. There's, like, I'm the guy walking in the woods and I'm like, what the fuck? What's that? And now I'm in charge of, like, tracking this shit down. And nobody else seems to want to interject into this Las Vegas alien case. Jim Quirk does. News Nation does. Fox Print Digital does. But where is Richard Dolan? Where's Lou Elizondo? Where's Jeremy Corbell? Where's Neil deGrasse Tyson? Where's Avi Loeb? Come on, guys. What could this be? Like, we got them right here on tape. And I have more. And the only image I'm going to release, I think, to go with this audio on my YouTube channel, Scott Roeder Crime Scene on YouTube, or Crime Scene Time Machine on TikTok, is going to be a couple of stills that we did this noise reduction on. and really amped it up. You tell me what you fucking see. I don't know what to make of this. I see another guy in the forklift with the big head and big eyes, and it could be the same guy that peeked his head out from behind the fence, but he certainly has a different kind of body, and he certainly is like kind of ghosty, like he's very interdimensionally, or maybe that's the cloaking. I don't know, but it's there. It looks like a fucking totem pole with a pumpkin head on top. That would scare me. You got a big totem pole with a pumpkin head on top with big eyeballs, and it's going boo in your backyard at midnight. Oh my God, I'd be scared as hell. Holy shit! So wait until you see what we're gonna put out with this video. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Until next time.